He was one of the funniest and most loved television stars of all time. With his big smile, silly walk, and goofy charm, Dick Van Dyke made millions of people laugh. But there was one person he just could not stand. One person who made him angry every time he saw him. Can you guess who it was? It was not a villain from a movie, or a grumpy director. No, it was someone famous. Stay with us, because this is a story with surprises, secrets, and a name you would never expect. Before we tell you who it was, let us go back a bit. Dick Van Dyke became super famous in the 1960s. He starred in the Dick Van Dyke Show, a funny television show where he played a comedy writer. People loved it. His dancing, his jokes, his fall-down-the-stairs routine, all of it made him a star. Then came Mary Poppins. And wow! He played Bert, the chimney sweep, and sang songs like Chim Chim Cherry and Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Even though his British accent was a bit off, everyone still loved him. But behind the scenes, things were not always so happy. Even though Van Dyke seemed cheerful all the time, he had some people he did not get along with. One of them was another big name in Hollywood. Someone people thought he was friends with. They worked together on a few projects. On screen, it looked like they were having fun. But once the cameras stopped rolling, Van Dyke would get quiet or even walk away. People around them noticed. They did not fight loudly, but there was tension, the kind of feeling where you just know something is not right. Okay, time for the big reveal. The person Dick Van Dyke could not stand was Jerry Lewis. Yes, that Jerry Lewis. The one with the wild voices, crazy characters, and big eyes. He was known for being super silly, especially in movies like The Nutty Professor and Cinderfella. Most people thought Jerry Lewis was a genius when it came to comedy. But not Dick Van Dyke. So why did Van Dyke dislike him so much? It was not because of talent. Jerry was funny in his own way. But it was his attitude that Van Dyke could not stand. You see, Jerry Lewis was known to be very difficult behind the scenes. He liked to be in control. He wanted things his way, all the time. He would yell at crew members, make rude jokes, and sometimes act like he was better than everyone else. Dick Van Dyke was not like that. He believed in kindness and teamwork. He treated everyone, from actors to camera crew, with respect. So when he saw Jerry being rude or selfish, he could not take it. One person on set even said, you could see the look on Dick's face. He was smiling, but not really. It is kind of like when you are in school and there is a kid who loves being the center of attention, even if it means making others feel bad. That was Jerry. Dick was more like the student who gets along with everyone, helps out, and does not show off. Van Dyke once said in an interview, I never understood why some people think comedy means being mean or loud. People believe he was talking about Jerry. Even though Van Dyke did not talk about it in public for years, his close friends knew the truth. He would roll his eyes when Jerry Lewis's name came up. He once even turned down a project just because Jerry was involved. A friend once joked, if Dick and Jerry were in the same room, it was like oil and water, they just did not mix. Still, Van Dyke never went on television or wrote in his book saying, I hate Jerry Lewis. That was not his style. He kept it calm, even when he was annoyed. So, what can we learn from all this? Sometimes, even famous people do not get along. They might smile for the cameras, but behind the scenes, they can have strong feelings, just like regular people. Dick Van Dyke shows us that you do not have to shout or be rude, even if you do not like someone. You can quietly walk away and still be true to yourself. And just because someone is famous does not mean they are easy to work with. Being kind, respectful, and a good team player, that is what really matters. So now you know, the one person Dick Van Dyke utterly hated was Jerry Lewis. Not because he was not funny, but because he was too much, too loud, too rude, and too bossy. Van Dyke believed in kindness, laughter, and lifting others up. And that is what made him loved by millions, and still loved even now. Thanks for watching. If you liked this story, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more untold stories from the stars. And let us know in the comments which celebrity friendship surprised you the most.